Hey everyone, how's it going? Spencer here, and today I want to show you the 2020 Subaru Outback XT Onyx Edition. Gonna do a quick walk around here. This car is basically brand new. It's only got about 4,000 miles on it. Now the Onyx Edition is a little bit special. You have black wheels, of course the black cladding, which is pretty standard on a Subaru. This one in particular is the black windows. But really, where you'll really see a difference is those black wheels, the black tail lamps, kind of redesigned LEDs, black badging. And then on the inside, it's a little bit different leather and coating on the actual seats. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Just gonna walk around the car here. A little bit different styling on the rear end and kind of on the back window. They've updated that for 2020. If you reference my other video on my channel of the Outback I used to have, that would be the closest comparison. The biggest thing is kind of going to be that front and rear. Like I was saying, the silhouette on the side is going to be pretty similar, but this one in particular has the black grille and then the standard LED headlights, LED fog lamps, and then this is special for the Onyx, I believe, is the 360 camera, at least the 180 on the front, and then the back camera. So a little bit different for this year. It's a pretty good looking car though, and this one is an XT. I'm sure you searched it because it is turbo. Key fob has stayed standard, so you just lock by pressing that rivet there and then unlock just by grabbing the handle. Takes just a minute. There it goes. This particular one you can see out there on the mirror here has the light, kind of lights up. Entry exit lighting, kind of cool. So yeah, this is what I was telling you. Different stitching here, a little bit different leather feel. Of course, it's a gray interior, as you can see. And then here's the seat that's really different. I look at it more of a sports seat. Again, I don't work for Subaru. I don't know. I'm just kind of doing a quick video for you guys, but it's that green stitching and it feels pretty good. It's pretty good comfort. And this is gonna be the main difference that you really see is this cockpit. So when you hop in, all new touchscreen with just a few buttons. So nothing too crazy there. Parking brake, electronic, standard shifter. I think this is pretty cool that it's still a shifter. A lot of people are going to the little electronic dealios, and people seem to really kind of grasp onto just the actual shifter. They seem to like that quite a bit. So good on Subaru for that. You have that camera view up front, like I was telling you. Start stop buttons down below. All your driver's assist for eyesight right there, which these cars I believe are coming with standard on the Outbacks now, which I think is great technology. Over on the left side of the steering wheel, you have volume controls, radio, information on the screen up top. Standard gauges, funny enough. Interesting that they're not doing a full electronic display, especially with something like this, but I think Subaru really likes to keep things kind of standard. You know, don't want to flip everything upside down and turn a button there, just like the, you know, shifter. So interesting, but I kind of like it. Down below you have trunk, you know, buttons to raise or lower the height, things like that, auto dimming, gauges, things like that over there, and then all automatic power windows, one touch over here, lock and unlock, mirror controls. This one, and I believe most of them have this, the blind spot monitoring system, which is great. Let's show you the back real quick and then we'll come back around and turn it on. In the back seat, again, you see that common theme. Same type of trim pieces, all-weather floor mats. Really good space. I don't know if they grew or shrank size-wise. I think it stayed the same. That's where I would sit. I'm just about 6 foot, and I mean, there's a ton of room. Inches, but at least 4 or 5 inches right there. So phenomenal. One of my favorite features too, I know mine had this too, USB ports down below, as well as heated seats, which is pretty slick. These seats do fold down. There's a button here that'll fold them, or excuse me, that'll recline the seat, and then this button here will fold the seat. And it does pretty well, pretty flat. So good stuff there. Up top, one of my favorite features is this rack system. They come standard on all of them. And yeah, it just goes right across. They're basically crossbars. They just pop out and go across, so you don't have to worry about buying any other kind of crossbars. Kind of helps with aesthetics too. Power rear tailgate. I'm gonna long press and hold. That'll just open right up. It's got a camera underneath there, the Subaru emblem, parking sensors. Really good space back here. Just like the old Subaru Outback, or the outgoing model, excuse me. Kind of put that up. You have the little release for the seats. That's just a, you know, cover, tonneau cover. And then back there is all just gonna be your plastic mats, which is great. Up top, they've added a lock feature, so you can either close or close and lock. So we'll just close it for now. Again, all power. All right, let's go ahead and start it up. Again, like I said, it's that new turbocharged motor. From my understanding, it is the Subaru WRX motor. So we'll put our foot on the brake. Kind of a cool little system suite. Over here on the screen, just hit I agree. Turn down that fan speed. And you can hear the turbo a little bit. Kind of hear that little turbo whistle, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna close this door up, take you guys around the block real quick, and then end this video. Before we drive real quick, I'll walk you through some of this stuff. Radio, of course, is gonna come on and blare, I'm sure. No, it didn't. Good. So you have Sirius XM, AM, FM. This touchscreen's okay. It's decently responsive. Sometimes it takes a while to load like that. I like to be a little more, instantaneous, which a lot of vehicles are nowadays. I get that's pretty good and pretty quick, but just my 2 cents. And then you have media, of course, if you had a phone connected, phone, apps in here. This is primarily for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which the vehicle now has. Car info, this is kind of cool because it's an XT, and because it's an Outback, you get the information on the screen that has to do with like pitch and roll or pitch and yaw. You can turn on and off different features, eyesight, lane keep assist. I think it's all cool that it's on. It actually tells you on the screen, or up on the windshield now. It's up in that little area and it'll tell you. Engine oil statistics about the maintenance and motor, kind of cool. You can also access that just by hitting that down below. X mode, so you can do snow and dirt, deep snow, normal. I like this because if you're in the mountains and you go to snow, it'll show up there. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Helps you out with traction. Kind of a low mode, I guess, low range, things like that. On the other screen, you just have shortcuts. Up top, it's kind of cool. See, it's not super responsive. It's not really like an iPhone. It's okay, but I don't know, just kind of interesting. Up top, you have your radio, outside temp, volume, still a true button, which is great. Tune, still a good button. Climate control's all down below. Again, it's touch. It's kind of interesting if you hit it. Takes a moment to respond, and then you have different zones, auto. This thing is kind of interesting. This is how you turn on and off the heated seat. There's no physical button. I think that should have been a physical button, even just down below or something, because there's a lot of presses that you have to do, and especially depending on what screen you're on. You have to press, it'll respond, press. You can see me, I'm kind of hitting a couple times. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I'm sure it's not a big deal over time, but I just thought that was something to mention. There's that standard shifter when you're in reverse. Camera shows up, and then if I hit the view button, that's gonna be our front camera. It looks like that view button's primarily, because X mode comes on, looks like it's primarily for off-roading, I guess, or any kind of like, trying to figure out if there's rocks or snow or something in front of you. It's kind of a cool design. A little bit of storage, 2 USB ports, storage down below as well, more USB ports. This is all your SOS buttons. This one does have a moonroof as well. All right, enough of me talking. We'll put this into drive. Take you just around the block real quick here. The biggest thing that I noticed is this car is much more responsive than the Outback that I had, which I had was a 2.5 4-cylinder. This car is very quiet too. So I'm gonna just gun it right here. That's full to the floor. Takes a second to respond because it's CVT. Turbo kicks in and it goes. Very impressed by that kind of turbo spool, the way it kind of comes on. So that's great. Day-to-day driving, kind of normal people, commuting, things like that. This car's gonna be great. The only time I'd really see people complain is just with that CVT. But you just can't expect a lot out of it. It's just a CVT. It's not like you're buying this car to win every stoplight race. In the mountains, I think, is where this car is gonna really excel. No pun intended, but from a standpoint of, hey, you're trying to pass someone, you need a little bit of guts to get up and go past them with a couple people in the car with your skis on top, things like that. I think that's really where this car is going to do the best. And it's smooth, especially if you're just driving it in normal mode and you're just kind of giving it a little bit of gas to have fun on the freeway or something. I think it's the perfect amount. I think, personally, in my opinion, from last year's model, especially like I said, since I had that other Outback, I think this car kind of fits everything that that car was lacking. So just my 2 cents, but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This vehicle, I think overall is pretty cool, especially if you're looking for an Outback with a little bit more power. I think this kind of fits that that niche, and overall I think is a really good design. So let's go ahead and show you the outside one more time. Again, pretty good looking car, especially with that package that blacks everything out. I think it's pretty nice. We'll show you those headlights real quick. There they are, the full LEDs. Well guys, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know if you want any other videos on this car or anything similar. I'll try to get them for you. And like I said, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.